The Hake Report.
The Hake Report.com. Hake is out today. And if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, he'll be here mañana. Sometime this week, I guess. I don't know, but I've been told Hake will be in. So we're getting ready to get started with the Hake Report.com. So let everybody know Hake is on. And wish Hake well. He's a little under the weather, but he's down, but he ain't out. All right? So you let me know?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for confirmation.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm app living, and what we're going to do is we're going to take calls for the next 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. The Hake Report.com. If you didn't listen to my show live this morning, podcast, it was amazing. Podcast the show. Go to JLPeterson.com/show and podcast. All right. A little computer issues on our end here, but the guys are rushing around trying to get it taken care of. Patience is what is required right now. Patience. Hey, and don't forget to check out while we're waiting our matching grant. And it is on the end of this month. So we have to match up to raise $30,000 because the donor is giving up to $30,000 matching grant donation. So go to rebuildingtheman.com to donate. We ready?
Yeah, I'm going to do the intro.
Okay. We're ready for the Hake Report. Hey, Hake, I know you're watching.
All right, I'm running the intro.
Also, Nick is doing an amazing job with the Hake news. He almost sounds like Hake. What the?
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys.
Oh,
hey guys.
The Hake Report.
It's not Hake. It's Jesse here today. Hake is out. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. And so hi to everybody on D-Live and all that stuff Hake would normally say. Good morning to y'all all right? We're going to take calls, and I really appreciate it. And I have to really thank Nick, my producer, for sitting in and presenting the Hake news during my show. The first 3 hours from 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you, Nick. You did an amazing job. At one time, I thought it was Hake. And so what we're going to do is take calls, and I may have some questions from my experts. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I want to go to Craig out of Illinois. Let's see here. Craig, welcome to the show. Thank you for holding on.
Good morning, Mr. Peterson. How you doing, sir?
All is well. How are you, Craig?
I'm okay, man. I just had a question for you, man.
Yes.
With all this stuff that's going on and what happened in the Capitol building, do you actually believe that those were Trump supporters?
I don't know. I'm hearing different things, that it was it was some of the Antifa people and some of Trump people, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. And also, I wanted to ask you this. You know, when Black Lives Matter trash be throwing that right fist up in the air, does that signify violence?
Yes. I guarantee you, if white people did that, they would be arrested. They would be put on a list. They would be called white supremacists and all that. And it does signify violence. I remember when the Black Panther used to do the same stuff, and everybody knew then, and most people were saying it was about violence.
Okay. I have one more question for you.
Yes.
Back in 1967, in the Capitol building, the Black Panthers stormed into the Capitol building with guns. No one's talking about that, what happened in 1967. But yet they want to accuse Trump supporters of being terrorists.
Yeah.
And that's not true. All our protests has been, and our rallies have been very peaceful.
Right.
Trump supporters clean up their trash after their rallies. So how is that Trump supporters doing that? I don't believe anything that the media shows me anymore.
Yeah, I don't believe the
It's
media
terrible.
either. You're right about that, Craig. I don't believe the media at all anymore. And they have just proven that they're not about presenting the news. They have become politicized. They have taken side. They're on the side of the Democrats. And their whole mission is to help destroy the conservatives. That's what it's all about. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you for your time, sir.
You're welcome,
doing an
man.
amazing thing over there. Love you guys.
Thank you. Love you as well. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Ronnie is out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Ronnie, thank you for calling. Thanks for holding you on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how we doing today?
Amazing. All is well.
Good. I was listening earlier, and the callers Jason and Percy were both accusing Trump of telling people and saying that "be strong" meant to actually go and storm the building, and that's not true. You were correct on that.
Yep. It's amazing. I don't even know when and why would anyone think the words "be strong" mean to attack. It just doesn't make logical sense.
Correct. It doesn't make sense, and people were projecting when they were saying that "be strong" meant to go fight.
Yes.
But what Trump actually did say was, he said, if you don't go and fight like hell, you won't have a country anymore. That's what he said. So he did tell people to go fight like hell. So those were his words.
So when they were going to the Capitol building, he said, "Go fight like hell."
Yes, he said go fight like hell, and then he said if you don't fight like hell, you won't have a country anymore. And that's the same time that.
Go ahead, finish your point. The same time.
That was the same. Yeah, it was the same time that right around the same time where Giuliani was saying let's have a trial by combat, which I'm not sure if you know about Game of Thrones, but a trial by combat means we just gonna fight to the death, and if you die, that means you was guilty.
Amazing.
So that's what. Yeah, and Trump didn't correct him on that either, so that's
Chris,
why it kind of seems.
You remember Trump saying, "Go fight like hell" or something?
Not specifically, no.
But what is it? Do we have that soundbite where he said, "Go over to the Capitol, be strong"?
I'm not sure. I would have to dig for
I thought we had
Yeah,
it. We had. I'm gonna have to revisit that soundbite so I could get exactly what the president said, because different people are saying that he said certain things. Like you heard this morning about "be strong" meant to fight and all that. I got to revisit it because I forgot exactly what he said.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. He said the words "go fight like hell." He said that at a speech down in Dalton, Georgia, and then he said "go fight like hell, or you won't have a country anymore." That's what he was saying.
And so, to you, that meant go and attack the Capitol building?
Yeah, it meant go fight like hell.
Did that mean go attack the Capitol building?
Yes, because what he said to the people in Dalton, Georgia was if the Democrats win the Senate election, then their last chance to save their country will be when Congress gets back together to kind of talk about the Electoral College.
So if he said, go over to the Capitol building, fight like hell, to you that meant go and attack the Capitol building?
It didn't mean that to me because I didn't go to the Capitol building. But to all the people that went to the Capitol building, that's probably what it meant to them.
Oh, you're not sure that that's what it meant. You're just assuming that.
I'm not assuming anything. I corrected the record and let you know that you were correct. The words "be strong" don't mean go to the Capitol building and storm, but the words "fight like hell" or "you won't have a country anymore." I think that some people might get scared and be pushed to do something like storming the Capitol building.
Would that, if that's the case, would that be Donald Trump's fault?
No, and this is kind of the battle that, people in hip-hop and people in rock and roll have battled with back and forth, where if you take their lyrics for exactly what they say and you actually go and commit suicide or shoot up a school, that you can't really hold the artist accountable. So that's the back and forth between, it's about how much responsibility do we put on people who are on those stages or who have that big of a voice. How much responsibility do we put on them to be careful with their words?
Yeah. It's amazing in America today other people are blamed for other people's action, and it's like, for some reason, there's this idea that people don't think for themselves. I do remember the president, the last 4 years, he's been in a battle, and he's been fighting like 90 going north to win back and make America great again. So I do know about that. And I remember times, and when he was talking about law and order, he was really big on that too. But thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for clearing that up.
Oh, definitely. You know, it was simple, and you just got to go and just listen to what they say.
Yeah.
And you can't really put words in his mouth, and and get. It does trouble me though, because it seems like you can't really hold the people that went and did that accountable either. Like, you didn't say they were out of control. You didn't say that they shouldn't be doing things like that.
I said that.
Yeah.
I said they walked right into a trap, and if they were not angry, they would not have done that. Whether they were Antifa or someone else encouraging them to do it, if they didn't have the anger, they would not have done it that way. I believe it was a trap.
I feel you on that, and that may or may not be true, but I just don't know why you haven't called them thugs. And every time, instead of calling them thugs, you bring up other people who you already called thugs to try to argue about them, as opposed to having a true conversation about those people. So were the people that stormed the Capitol thugs to you?
No.
Why not?
Because they were white.
So true.
At least you honest. At least you honest about it, I guess.
Yes.
I guess you being honest. About it, because that it is what it is. And I get it. If those are your standards, that's what you'll see. And those are your standards. You admire Donald Trump just because he's strong and he won't tell you no for an answer. And if he sees a possible way of victory, he's gonna fight it out. You admire that, and I get it, but you also are dismissing the fact that he really doesn't care who he steps on sometimes.
Those, I doubt, and I don't know for sure, right? I doubt that most of those people who attack the Capitol like that do not have criminal records.
They will now.
Right, but they didn't have it. They
They
didn't have it prior, whereas most black people, especially black young men, have criminal records.
So nobody has a criminal record until they have one. I don't know how many people have gone from having a clean background to being labeled a U.S. terrorist.
What?
And that's what these people are going to experience. They've been put on no-fly zone.
Yeah.
The black people that you're referring to, they might get hit with a possession charge, whether it be a firearm or marijuana. They might have some disorderly conduct or something like that, but none of them are going to go from no record at all to you are now a U.S. terrorist.
I know the
amazing.
law is harsh on white people and soft on the blacks.
Where's your evidence of that? Where's your proof?
Because you just said black people get a pat on the back, whereas white people will be called terrorists, and they'll be put on a list. They can't fly, they can't eat, they can't work, they can't do anything.
That's not the case. We're talking about two different things.
It is the case.
You talking about a criminal record or not? I'm talking about crime. You said the law is soft on white people and harder on black people. You would have to have proof where
the law is harder on white people and soft on the blacks.
And that's based on what?
You see what happening now with the attack on the Capitol? All hell broke loose, and now white people can't fly, they can't eat, they can't work, they can't do anything. I guarantee you their Second Amendment will be taken away from them. Their freedom of speech has been taken away. Whereas there's things that happened to the country, the terrorist attack upon America by Black Lives Matter, none of those things were taken away from them.
No, Black Lives Matter has never stormed the halls of the Capitol with weapons, threatening to try to overthrow the people who are in power.
No, they just robbed, steal, and kill, and raped, and encouraged the killing of cops by saying, "What do we want? Dead cops."
Thieves and rapists. thieves and rapists should go to jail. What I'm saying to you is, if crime was softer on white people, harder on white people than it was black people, you're talking about the Second Amendment rights being taken away and they can't fly anymore. If they were black and that mob was mostly black, I think that there would have been a lot more bullets flying and a lot more than 5 deaths.
Meaning that black people would be shooting more?
They would have been shot more. There would have been more black people dead. And again, we're both speculating because it's an if scenario. But
so
you and I both know.
Why did they run when the blacks took over police precincts? Why did they get killed then? The cops ran from them.
You talking about the police precincts, or are we talking about the Capitol?
We're talking about police precincts. That's even as, maybe more important, but as important as the Capitol.
Okay, I thought we were talking about just the Capitol because you were trying to tell me that the law is harder on white people than it is black people. It is. And you trying to spiral out. And you talked about Obama doing this where they don't answer the question. They just try to get you to argue so that you spend more time arguing.
All right. Thank you, Ronnie. I got to run, man. Thank you, all right?
You always run.
No, I've talked to you for 20 minutes already. I got to go.
You always run, though. It's funny.
Okay.
Have a blessed day, Jesse.
You too, buddy. Let me go to... let's see here. Matt out of California. Matt, thank you for calling and thanks for holding you on the air.
Jesse, how's it going, man?
All is well. How are you, Matt?
I'm good, man. Thank you. Just before, I know you have a lot of questions. I was at the Capitol. I just want to say a couple of things. There was peace-loving people there. Everybody there was, there was no white supremacy. If anything, I saw every color of the planet Earth there. It was awesome. I didn't go inside the Capitol. I was like on the corner side where like that giant American flag was, and I was also under it. So just don't believe what the media is saying, because we got hit, man, by the cops. We got hit by the police.
Amazing. And so you were there. Were you at the Capitol when the people broke into it?
No, it's funny because I was actually getting food, and me and my other buddy, we had walkie-talkies, and we were searching to a channel so we can communicate with, and all the channels were taken up, and they were just saying, each channel was saying, the Capitol is stormed in, people are inside, yada, 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 like each channel. So as soon as we heard that, we just like rushed through, and I didn't see people go inside, but I saw people outside, and there was just thousands of us around that corner.
I know that for the last 4 years, whenever there were rallies for Donald Trump, they were peaceful. And I just think that it was a setup at the Capitol this time. It was just set up for that to happen, for reasons to take over the lives of the people. But we'll find it'll all come out in the rants. We'll find out what happened.
We'll find out. Yeah. But like you said, it was peaceful, man. Everybody was so loving. Everybody was hugging, clapping hands and saying God bless you. I didn't see any hate.
Yeah.
I didn't see any hate.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was just.
Finish your point. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it was just an awesome experience. This is like my second Trump rally I've ever been to.
Yes.
I'm from the Bay Area, so I went to the San Jose one years ago, but that got canceled because all the lefties were going crazy, and they were kicking us when we were trying to go into the building.
I remember when Trump first ran, whenever he held rallies around the country, the radicals would turn up and attack the Trump supporters.
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that happening.
Yeah. Me and my buddy that I went with, we spoke, and we were just prepared. I mean, I do some mixed martial arts on the side.
Yes.
So we were just prepared just in case.
Nice.
And, also, I did see Antifa. Antifa was there, but they were just creeping up at night.
Oh,
but there were small groups. There was I want to say, there was their biggest group was probably like 16 of them, and then I saw another group of them. I didn't count, probably like 7. I want to say, but they were looking for people, man. They were just looking for the old, they were looking for the grandmas and the grandpas, as they always do.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, take it easy, Jesse. God bless you, man.
All right, you too, buddy. Thank you. Amazing. Let me go to Earl. Earl out of Michigan. Earl, welcome to the Hake Report. You're on the air.
Hola. Buenas tardes, Sir Jesse.
Amazing.
Lee Peterson.
Thank you, Earl.
Just FYI, why haven't you shown any clips of them, the mob, those thugs crushing police officers and so forth, and showing the police screaming in excruciating pain, being crushed, and so forth, or the white wing extremist picture in the Capitol with zip ties and so forth that's used to restrain folks that police use and so forth.
You said they were used.
Clips of that?
Did you say they were used to restrain people?
I say they are used. I'm talking about the purpose of zip ties is to restrain. That's what police use in lieu of handcuffs.
That's the purpose of restraint. And did they do that to the cops at the
They
Capitol?
didn't encounter any. They didn't find any politicians to do it.
And so how do you know that's what they wanted to do with them?
I don't know. Maybe they just want to play around with zip ties.
Right.
Why
So
you
how
ask
do
such
you
stupid
know?
questions? What's the purpose of bringing zip ties if you're not going to use it to restrain folks?
And that's the only purpose for them?
That's the purpose for when you want to restrain folks.
I'm asking, though, that's the only purpose for them.
Or you can use zip ties for a lot of different things.
Oh, okay.
But we got to use common sense. Do you have any of that?
And how are you using common sense right now?
They storming the Capitol, asking for certain people, and also you didn't show the crowd screaming, "Hang the vice president, hang Pence," and so forth. You never show those clips. Are they banging against the door trying to break the glass, saying "hang Pence," and so forth?
I don't have those clip sound bites. That's why I
of course you don't, buddy.
Yeah.
I guarantee you would have found it if they were black.
Oh, yeah. Let me ask. Oh, the Bible go-to guy want me to ask you a question. The Bible go-to guy said, ask Earl, what do the right-wing extremists want from the government? What do the left-wing extremists want from the government? So what do the right-wing extremists want from the government? It's a Bible go-to guy question.
Tell the Bible go-to guy, ask the white-wing extremists what they want. I'm not in their head and so forth. They don't talk to me, so why would I know what they want?
And what does the
by the way, I'm going to ask. I want you to
know what do the left-wing extremists want from the government?
You got to ask them too. I don't speak for either side, but let me ask the Bible go-to guy when you get a chance. I've been trying to get an answer for him for the last year or so, and you yourself too. If are there any examples of any perfect parents producing perfect children? Where's the evidence of that?
There nowadays, definitely not. In the good old days, you would have been able to find that, but not in today's America. No, I doubt it.
Who?
I said no.
In the good old days, who was perfect?
In the good old days, there were more human beings who were truly believed in God. even when, as I mentioned before, when I was growing up in Alabama, the people of God knew, the blacks knew, and the whites knew, that all white people were not against blacks and all black people were not against white. They understood that it was a spiritual battle and not a physical one. And that's why they said to treat people in the way that you would like to be treated, because they understood it wasn't about color, it was about character. It was about, even Martin Luther King, primary message was about character and not about color. So in the good old days, you would have been able to find that, but I doubt that you'll be able to find it now. It's starting to happen, though. The millennials are starting to wake up, and they will do it in the right way.
Let's make a distinction between raising folks decently and being perfect. There's a difference. Difference.
So what now?
Difference. Raising folks, decent parents raising decent children, and so forth, and being perfect, as you say, perfect parents.
Right.
Can you give me an example of perfect parents? Not just decent parents. Perfect.
Perfect parents are those who love God with all their heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else, and love their neighbor as themselves. So when they do have children, the love of God would come through them and would be passed down to the children, from God through the father to the children. I mean, to the wife to the children.
So
and in the good old days, in the good old days, in the good old days, especially in the South, they had love for one another, and that's why they treated their neighbor as themselves.
So you got examples of Stedford husbands and wives producing Stedford children.
Do you know you're asking me the same question over and over again?
Because you're making up a stupid, unsubstantiated answer, because there's no examples of perfect parents and perfect children.
In today's America, it's hard to find it, if at all.
Not in your day, not in my day,
in your
not
days,
before we were born.
Oh.
There were never perfect parents producing perfect children.
So do you believe that's possible?
Children have their own mind and their own personality. Just because the parents are good doesn't automatically signal that each kid would be obedient and so forth. That's a fantasy, boy.
So do you believe that good, decent parents would raise bad children?
I said each children is an individual. There is no guarantee that good parents, that the kids will come out great. You can have good. You can have.
So you believe that good parents produce bad?
Let me say it. You can have 4 children. 3 of them turn out perfect, fine, and you have one that won't do right to save their life. That doesn't mean because the parents were bad that the kid will come out perfect. Each person have their own personality, and they make their own decisions.
You believe that
what the parents are.
You believe that good parents can produce bad children?
Yes.
Are you a Christian?
You asked me that yesterday, fool.
What'd you
tell me? Why you keep asking me the same question?
What'd you tell me?
I told you I'll leave that up to God to decide.
Oh, so you're not there. So you're not.
Not you.
So
you're nobody. You're just a storefront preacher that want to be somebody and tell somebody.
You're right. I am nobody. You're absolutely right about that.
So when you say who's not and who's not, who is, it means absolutely nothing. You can have a drunk that say the same thing. It means absolutely nothing.
All right. Thank you, Earl.
Well, one question.
Bye. Let me go to Maze. Maze. Out of Earl just rambling about nothing. They have no idea what he's talking about. Screaming and yelling about nothing. Maze is out of Dayton, Ohio. Maze, welcome to the Hake Report.com.
Hello, Jesse, on the Hake Report.
Hey, Maze, how you doing?
Marvelous as always. And happy. And joyful drinking my tea.
Amazing.
But the problem, I heard you say something about the mayor of D.C. Now, what did you say she did when it came to the rioters? I mean, them crazy people over there at the Capitol.
I don't remember what was said earlier, but I do know that she did not prepare to protect the people in D.C.
Oh, so she didn't prepare for at the Capitol?
Right.
Well, why do they have Capitol Police?
To protect the Capitol.
Oh, okay. So they got Capitol Police, so that was out of her jurisdiction. She's not responsible for that part because they don't have statehood. So that's why she couldn't have anything to do with that.
So that means that's why she didn't have the police on alert or anything?
She could not have the police on alert because that's not her. That's not her jurisdiction.
But why couldn't she?
That's why they got the Capitol Police and the chiefs and stuff that's resigning. That is why, because they don't have statehood.
No, that's not why they're resigning.
It was not her job.
Hey, that's not why they're resigning.
No. Why are they resigning?
Because the cops are under attack, and if they do something to protect themselves and the citizens, they lose their jobs, they lose their lives, they have to go in hiding. The cops are under attack by the radical liberals.
And who said so?
You don't know that that's happening?
Really? Look like some cops was in the Capitol doing the same thing everybody else
What
was
do you
doing.
think blaming the cops is all about?
What?
Why do you think that the cops are to be blamed for everything?
Because they're not doing the oath of office that they took to protect and serve.
And why do you think the cops? Why do you think they want to defund the cops?
Why do I think they need to? Why do I think that they are trying to defund the cops? Because some of the cops are not doing the job that they're sent there to do.
Is it right?
Serve and to protect, not go and kill unarmed people.
Is it right to defund cops?
Is it right to defund cops? Yes.
And what's right about that?
When you got a group of people, it's just like if you got like you got a business, and people in there doing stuff that you don't like, you can fire them and don't want them back in there again. And because if the operation is not ran right, something needs to happen. You either get it right, get rid of the people that's causing the problem that was inside that Capitol. Because did you have cops inside the Capitol doing stuff too, along with the people?
I saw them running, but
I saw them shaking hands and taking pictures.
Hake just sent me a note. He wanted me to remind you, the chief who resigned said that he was refused multiple requests for backup before and during the protest, and the Capitol Hill police chief said that. And,
he said that.
And the black woman, the mayor of D.C., which is a big mistake, asked federal law enforcement to stand down, according to Hake.
She cannot do federal law because she's not. That's why they got Capitol Police. She's not a state. DC
well, why did she ask them to stand down?
But when she took care of the monument part. That was all done. You didn't see them acting up over there because they know they went to jail, and they would have got what they came there for. Did them people go there?
Man, you don't know what you're talking about.
I don't.
Chris, what do you want to say?
Really?
Hold on, man. Chris, the white guy, want to talk to you.
I hope he makes some sense trying to talk to me.
What is your point, Maze?
My point is
no, hold on. I didn't finish.
Listen.
I didn't finish.
How come blacks don't listen? That's why you can't hear from Jesus.
That's why you don't have no Jesus in you. Okay, go ahead with your question.
Yes, this D.C. is not a state, but then what is Muriel Bowser the mayor of?
D.C.
Right.
That's what she's the mayor of, D.C., not the Capitol. That's why you have Capitol Police. Why do they have Capitol Police? What is their function?
To protect the Capitol.
We can't see you, Chris.
Thank you. So, and who is in the Capitol?
And they can't request backup from local law enforcement, Maze? Are you out of your mind?
No, you're out of yours. You're not listening.
Any law enforcement can help any other law enforcement. Local police can help highway police. You don't know what you're talking about, Maze.
Yes, I do.
The National Guard.
I'm not arguing with you. Can you answer a question and stop being stupid? I asked you a question. What is her role?
I just muted Maze. Maze, When there was riots in L.A., the National Guard was called in, like federal government helping the local government. It happens all the time. Backup can be requested from anybody.
Mike, I can hear you. Hello?
Yeah.
Did he unmute me?
Yeah.
I asked you a question. D.C. does not have statehood like L.A. do. Do you get that?
Yeah, but they have
So
police. Do they have police? Do they have police?
She call anybody? She's responsible
Do they have police?
for just D.C. And the police can't come. She can't only.
Well, then why did she tell them to
DC
back
has
down?
police.
Why
She
did
tell somebody back. How she gonna tell somebody to back down for the Capitol?
Why did she do it?
You had Virginia, you got Maryland, and Virginia in between both of those places. What?
Calm down.
Well, asking Chris the question.
I know, but
Chris,
speak slower so that white people can understand what you.
Okay.
Only the
I have a question
blacks
for Chris.
understand. Oh, Maze, hold on. Only the blacks can understand what you're saying, but the white people don't because they don't speak that kind of language.
Yeah, they don't understand it.
So hold on. I want to ask Maze. I want to ask you, how did it feel when a white man told you you're out of your mind?
When a white man told me out of my mind, he doesn't have a man, so at least I got one.
What was that like for you when Chris said you're out of your mind?
No, Jesse, we get back to the point to show him that he doesn't know what he's
because you don't
about.
like for white people to tell black people what to do?
No, that had nothing to do with it. I'm asking him a question because I can't answer for Caucasians, and they can't answer for me. So that's why I'm asking him a question. You have Maryland, and you got Virginia, in between D.C. So they were trying to give help, but who was stopping them from giving help to those Congress people? It wasn't the mayor of D.C. So where did they have to get theirs from? He don't know the difference between statehood and federal. Federal land is that's where they got those cops on federal land. She cannot control nothing on federal land.
Man, you don't know what you're
Do you get that, Chris?
They can
Did you learn anything?
They can request backup from the local law enforcement.
They can request. Virginia asked to help, and so did Maryland. Why didn't they get?
Give me a
help?
yes or no.
Because the capital is in D.C., where Bowser is the mayor.
And they don't have statehood. If they would have statehood, they could do the
I'm
same
going to try it one more time, then I have to go because you're talking too fast.
Okay, go on and help him out.
You carrying on.
I'm not carrying on.
You carrying on just like those black guys this morning who called the show.
If he studied
Bye, Maze, you're not listening.
His history, he would know what he's talking about, but he don't.
Maze.
What?
Calm down.
I am not upset.
Don't speak so fast like that. Listen.
Well, that's listen to you 30 years. I don't like that. Like I said, I have to do it quick and fast because y'all used to have a timer on people and you had to say what you had to say and get off.
But we were telling you that we were giving you time and you yet race.
Okay, but now let's get back to the meat of the problem. When you always say when you grew up, so why did them black people lose their land and it was taken away from them and they couldn't get it back? Why did that happen, Jesse?
I'm being told that the mayor specifically requested not to get backup. Are you denying that?
I don't have to deny it. You can, if you know history.
Are
the
you saying that she didn't do that?
No, she didn't.
So the cop that said it, when he asked for it, he didn't get it. He was lying?
He wasn't asking the mayor for it. How are you going to ask the mayor for something?
Me, was he lying?
Yes, he was lying.
And why? How do you know?
The same way you know stuff that you know.
No, how do you know he was lying?
Because I know I studied history and I know my history.
How do you know that the cop was lying, Mace?
What was he supposed to go get help from?
Mace,
the federal?
Bye. You ain't gonna get no answer, folks. Just a headache from all that fast talk. David is a first-time call out of Kansas City, Kansas. David, welcome to the Hake Report.com.
Hello, Jesse. Thank you so much. And shout out to James. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's back soon. I enjoy the JLP show and the Hake show.
Thank you, man.
A lot.
Yeah, he'll be back soon.
Excellent. I was on the road when I called. I thought he'd be back today. It was such a blessing to know that I get to ask you this. I had a question about anger, and I listen to your show a lot, the JLP show,
right?
And I hear your explanation of anger a lot, and I just wanted to ask you: is there such a thing as good anger, or maybe like justified anger? Because I mean, like I don't think I'm a mean or angry person in general at all, but like, and I try to, keep myself calm and always be kind and gentle and nice to people. But when you see all of this of like what's going on, it's just making me so like angry. But I feel like there's such a thing as like justified anger. I mean, wouldn't my anger push me to do something good for my country and help stop this ridiculousness that's going on?
Number one, no, there's never a time for justified anger. Anger is not good. Anger is evil. Anger blinds you. It makes you think things that are not true. It causes you to overreact because the whole mission of anger is to cause you to destroy yourself. It wants your soul. So there's no love in it, no light in it. It's never, ever, 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 ever good. You should always operate in love and not hate. And love is not anything you can feel, taste, or touch. It's not mama's love. It's the Father's love, because the Father's love is logical. It has power. It unites and not divides. It's amazing. And so anger blinds you. Love opens your eyes.
Thank you so much, Jesse. I love your wisdom. It just breaks my heart when you get these phone calls that when people try to get at you and go at you, what they don't realize is just how pure and genuine of a person you are and how much you really help people. And you really help me so much every time I listen to your show. I take a little bit from it. I'm kind of new to the spiritual realm. I went my whole life being kind of, I guess, just kind of blind to it. But I found your show about a year ago, and I tried telling my friends, if you just listen to him, if you just give the guy a chance, he's going to say some wild things, and it's going to kind of shock you. But if you just listen to what he says, it makes sense, and it'll calm you down. And I want you to know that you did that for me. You helped me really calm down and find out what my anger was, where it came from, and I just can't thank you enough for that. Really, that's really all I had to say. I just really wanted to be a more positive phone call for you today. And I am a little, swayed in my anger. Like I see like our founding fathers, they were clearly upset with what they saw from the, English monarchy, and they wanted to change that. But
yeah,
I guess I see what you're saying. They did that through love, not through anger.
That's right. God,
that.
There are two ways you could. One is discernment. It means to see it injustice, but don't hate it. The other one is hatred, which is you can't discern. So you see it, you hate it, and you overreact. So that's why God said we must return to the Father. We must be born again so that we can overcome that fallen state and come into the light. And you're going to see that. You're going to see and deal with life in a perfect way. It's so amazing. And when you do have to go to war or whatever, you can deal with war in a perfect way as well. You can win the war because you're fighting by the light of God within you and not by the darkness of Satan within you.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, David.
I also just want to say, James, I just want to say one thing for him. He has the most humble, good boy way of putting things. I love watching his show, too.
He's amazing.
I think he and I are pretty similar in age, and he makes me think a lot of myself as I was growing up and the experiences I went through. So I enjoy watching his show, and I hope he's back soon. Thank you so much, Mr. Peterson.
You're welcome, David. Thank you for that. I'm sure Hake would appreciate that. Thank you. Bye now. Amazing. Listen, folks, don't let anyone, do what you want, of course. I recommend you not letting anyone convince you that anger is good. There's nothing good about anger. Families are being destroyed because of anger. Friendships and the country is being destroyed because of anger. There's no love in anger. Really. No love, no light. It brainwashes you. You're hypnotized. You're in a dream and don't know it. And don't let anyone make you believe that you can control anger. You cannot control it. You cannot control anger. It's a spirit. It is a spirit. Of ourselves, we can do nothing, and of ourselves, we know nothing. We're not a big deal as we think that we are. Ego thinking. Really, we're not as important at all. But the people who are in a fallen state think you're important because they can't see. And if you're in a fallen state, you think you're important because you can't see. It's the mercy of God and His grace that brings us out of the darkness back into the light because He loves us. He doesn't care what that mess you're in that fallen state. He cares about your heart. Salvation is of the heart. That's why He bring you back, give you love, and the love clean up the mess. He doesn't wait till the mess is cleaned up and bring you in. We got to return to love. We got to endure. And stop hating. Love our neighbor as ourselves, no matter what. Don't hate. Let me go to Chase, a first-time call out of Jacksonville, Florida. Chase, welcome to the Hake Report. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
Amazing. All is well.
Amazing.
Yes,
awesome,
sir.
Man. Hey, man, I wanted to ask you, have you seen any of those videos of the Capitol Police waving the protesters onto the Capitol through the gate?
Telling them to come on in?
Yeah, like waving them, their arms over their head, like, come on, let's go.
I don't remember seeing it. I haven't watched a lot of that stuff. I haven't, really got into it. I saw it when it first happened by the way of I happened to be watching the Trump speech from my home there, here in L.A., and I saw them go into the Capitol when they were climbing the fence and whatever they were doing. I'm like, wow, that's a setup. They walked into a trap. Did you see the Capitol Police waving people to come in?
I've seen one where it's one guy waving them in.
And that was a cop or one of the protesters?
Yeah, it was one
Very
of the.
much looks like a police.
So what now?
Yeah, one of the police.
Oh.
It seems to be that the fencing was obstructed and
so what he's telling them to come on into the building?
Yeah, but the clip I saw seemed like they were pretty far away from.
Oh, the people can't see you.
They can see me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The one I saw where the cop is waving at them seems like he's pretty far. He's not even on the steps, anything like that. He's pretty far from entering the building, but that was the one I saw.
And anybody know why he would tell them to come in like that?
I have no idea.
Why if that's true, Chase, why were they telling them to come on in?
I couldn't imagine.
Me either.
Unless it was a setup. That's all I could think.
It definitely looked like a setup, man. It looked too easy for it to happen. And because normally, and I've gone to the Capitol when things were normal in America and visited for sightseeing and things like that. And normally they have cops everywhere, even without a rally happening. But that just looked like a setup. Looked like it was just the people who did it walked into a trap.
Exactly. They were led by people who knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. Something was going on, that's for sure. I appreciate it, Chase. Thank you, man.
Of course. Hey, one last thing. I really want to thank you. You opened my eyes. I've always thought the kind of way I have, but you really opened my eyes to thinking, hey, this is the right track that I want to go down and stuff, and I wanted to thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Chase. Thank you, man. God bless you. Stay with it. It gets better.
All right. Love you, Nani.
I love you too,
Thank
buddy.
you.
All right. The one thing I want to say is that, and I understand what Chase means when he thanked me, but only God can let you see, really. So what I do is point you back to God within you. And those who are seeking him, you will find him within you. He's on inside. I know only a few will seek the kingdom of God this right way, but if you look within, you will find him. All right? It's amazing. And it's amazing to hear so many people waking up. Nathan is out of Toronto, Canada. Nathan, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
How are you?
Amazing.
Amazing. Are you familiar with my guest on my show, Travis Painburn?
Travis Painburn.
He's out.
No, I have not heard of him before, actually.
Oh, okay. He's a podcaster out of Canada there. But go ahead, Nathan.
Okay.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Jesse. It's amazing to talk to you. I think of you like the black grandfather I never had.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, man.
And you've been leading me in the right path, or not. You've been leading me back to the source. I'm 10 days off the pot, and I'm.
What is it like to
I'm feeling
be
great?
Good, man. So, what is it like for you being on the pot and off the pot?
Well, being on the pot, it was basically like saying that my life was amazing when it wasn't amazing at all. Right?
Yeah.
It made my life feel amazing in the moment, but it really wasn't. I was just suffering and dying the whole time.
That's deep. And for how long did you smoke pot? How many years did you smoke pot?
Well, I'm 31 right now, and I started smoking pretty much every day when I was 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to stop?
Well, I've stopped a couple of times before, for a couple of months, and then I end up like being like, oh, maybe I can try it again and I can control it this time, but
yeah.
I can't, and I end up just back where I was, right?
Yeah.
But this is the first time I feel like I'm approaching it from the perspective of a Christian. Like I think of myself as trying to be a good Christian.
Right on.
I'm trying to approach it with a different attitude, and I find it's really helping because I realize I can't change myself.
Yeah.
I've been trying this whole time, and I can't. My ego was trying to convince me that I could, but I can't. And God is showing me the way. He's showing me that He can change my heart.
That's deep, man.
It all came from watching your show, man.
Right on. And this is why we shouldn't judge ourselves when we start to wake up, or even in that fallen state, because when you judge yourself, you're saying that, hey, I'm God, I can change myself. And you really can't. You're just getting deeper into it. You made another very interesting point, is that potheads think that when they're high, they think that life is amazing, when in reality they're catching hell, but the pot numbed the feeling so they don't know that they're still catching hell.
Yeah, exactly. It's a terrible cycle, right? That's why I feel a lot of people who are on the pot, they can't see it. When they're in it, they just can't see it at all, right? So that's why they make all these excuses and try to, like, quote the Bible, like, God put all the herbs on here so we can smoke it. But I don't think that's true.
It's not true. It's just not. Yeah. The devil is very busy. He knows how to deceive you. Amazing.
He definitely does. So I had one main question for you.
Okay.
About my father. So I just wanted to ask, how do you return to a Joe Biden supporting father?
By realizing that, you know how you tried to change your life and you couldn't?
Yeah.
You could not change anything. Your father's in a fallen state, and he cannot see, and he cannot change himself either. He can't help it. And then just knowing yourself will help you to understand him, and in that way you stop judging him.
Right. Because I feel like I definitely understand that intellectually.
Yeah.
I've heard you say it before, right? But
yeah.
I guess I'm having a hard time putting it into practice because I find myself, like, with the election and everything happening, and my dad's still supporting Joe Biden. And my dad's white, and I'm mixed race, so it's kind of interesting in that way.
Yeah.
He's Jewish. And so...
And what's your father's Jewish, your mother's white?
My mother's Jamaican.
Oh, really?
So a Polish Jew and a Jamaican got together and made me.
What a mess.
Canada. What a mess, right? and I just feel exactly. But a child of God came out of that, so hallelujah.
Right on, man.
But I feel like his whole kind of liberal ethos kind of drove him to do that, right? He thought that, yeah, sure, I could have a kid with a Jamaican woman and everything's just going to be fine.
Yeah. But that's
But
what
no.
happens when we're in a fallen state. Wrong seem right and right seem wrong. But when you wake up, you see reality. But let me ask, do you think you have a right to resent your father?
No, I don't think I have a right to resent him.
Right.
And I really try to, when I talk to him about things, about politics, which is very rare. We used to have a really good relationship, but ever since 2016 and Trump getting elected, it crashed and burned because he's just one of these people who hates Trump, just hates him, right?
Right.
And I was supporting him, and I just couldn't understand why my father figure sees this actual alpha male who's actually trying to do something to help the country, to help the civilization, and he just hates him. And I couldn't understand why, right? It just seems so wrong to me.
Well, just forgive him. He cannot see, all right? Just, you can't make him see, so don't hold it against him. And and when you do, if and when you talk to him, let him be himself, you be yourself, and just wish him well and move on with your life.
Yeah, it just seems like we'll never have the same type of relationship that we once had, and it's sad, but I'm starting to accept that that's how it's going to be with a lot of people now that I've woken up.
That's right. But you're right. It is sad losing it, but you get past that. Don't resent him. And never say never, because there's a possibility he may change. Something can happen in his life where it will cause him to see.
Yeah. And he never believed in God, so that's probably the one thing that's really missing from his whole experience.
So be a good example for him by wishing him well and don't hate him.
Yeah, that's definitely what I do. I want to be the light so he can see that it's possible to get over the pot and get over all your issues without any medication or talking to a therapist or anything like that.
That's right. How old are you, Nathan?
I'm 31, sir.
Right on, man. Well, just be a good example for him. Don't hate him. And when you don't hate him, you will have an amazing life.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, Nathan.
Really appreciate the time.
You're welcome, buddy. Call me again.
Have a great day.
All right, now. Amazing. So let me make this announcement. Ladies, we're having our women's forum this Thursday. All right, for ladies only. Normally, we hold meetings for ladies on the third Thursday of the month, but I won't be around, and we missed last month, so we got to do it this month. I asked the ladies on Sunday, do y'all want to have a meeting? They said yes. So we will be meeting this Thursday at 7 p.m. at the headquarters of Barn in Los Angeles. All right? And don't forget our matching grant. Go to rebuildingdemand.com. We have a matching grant up to $30,000. Help us get there before the end of this month. And the donor will give up to $30,000. Go to rebuildingdemand.com to donate. Rebuildingdemand.com. You can also call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Super Chats and D-Live. We didn't get them yet? Okay, let me know when they're ready. Let me go to, thank you, Chris. Adam out of Utah. Let's see, I got the wrong one. Adam, welcome to the show, to the Hake Report. You're on the air.
Hi, how you doing? It's good to hear you.
All is well, sir. Thank you for calling.
All right. So basically, I just had a question. What do you think about, like, for example, healthy animals in the wild that use anger on the regular, that, you know, they use it out of necessity, and, you know, when the danger is over or when the incident is over, the animal, you know, like a healthy animal can pull back into a parasympathetic state of being, you know, calm and collected. But when they're trying to defend themselves, they can switch back into an angry mode and use that anger to defend themselves.
And how do you know it's anger? How do you know it's anger?
Well, I mean, if you look at a wolf while they're defending themselves, while they're showing their teeth and all that, it looks like they're in a very painful state of being, or a defensive, state of being.
Right. It's
Anger.
a
I think
very
there's anger
interesting
involved there.
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, Adam. But you don't know because animals don't have choices. Meaning that they're just built that way. They can't not be what they are, an animal. But a human being can overcome that animal-like that animal-like state. How do you know that they're feeling anger? You're just going on based on what it look like anger, what a human being anger is, right?
Well, yeah, I do recognize that probably the human ape anger is probably different because human apes don't necessarily have to be in a dangerous situation in order to be angry. I mean, a lot of human beings just
what do you mean by human ape?
To be angry.
What do you mean human apes?
All of us, we're all human apes, right?
You are an ape?
Yeah, well, we're all human apes according to the taxonomy.
So you came from an animal rather than God?
If you want to get into the spiritual side of it, sure. I think our spirit and our soul comes from probably God or the universe, but.
So are you created in the image? Are you created in the image of an ape or the image of God?
I think both. Well, because there's the carnal side of humans, and then there's the spiritual side of humans. Right?
And how did you come from an ape?
Through just the lineage of the carnality of my ancestors and the existence in which I have to exist here on this planet. And that's the carnal side.
So you came from an ape?
Well, like I said, human beings are a type of ape.
No, I'm asking you.
If I was born from my mother, then that means I was born from an ape, technically.
And was your mother born from an ape as well?
Well, yeah, according to my line of reasoning at the moment, yeah.
And you believe that?
So, you don't believe that we're apes?
No, we're not. Not only do I believe we are not. At least I'm not. Now, maybe you were born from an ape, and that's why I'm trying to find out. And you said your mother was born from an ape. How did that happen?
Well, I was just referring to the scientific, classification of humans.
But why would you believe something like that? That's so dumb.
System of nature here.
Why would you believe that, Adam?
Well, it's just scientific evidence, really. We look similar to chimpanzees. We have 5 fingers, and we walk on 2 legs, and chimpanzees can do that as well. And it's not far-fetched to try to figure out where we fall in the taxonomy and the classification of living things on the earth.
Amazing. Do your mother know you think that she's an ape?
No. She's not with us. She's not with us anymore, but...
Where's that ape now?
She... What?
Where is she now?
She's in ape heaven. What are you talking about? I'm just kidding.
Well, I know that animals have instincts. They know how to protect themselves when violence comes or another animal or whomever attack them. But they go, as soon as that passes, they go back to the other instinct of calming down. But I doubt if they have anger. And I know for sure, Adam, that we are created in the image of God. And unless you're calling God an ape, we're not apes, man. Don't believe the scientists.
Well,
this is why I want
God
people
ape,
to think for themselves, man. What the?
Uh-huh. Right. Well, here there's also another possibility.
Another what?
Is that we can also
Hey, Adam, your phone went out for a minute. There's also another
the
what?
bodies of apes, but I'm saying we can exist in the bodies. I'm saying that we can exist in the bodies of apes, but also be created by God at the same time. That's possible. I mean, our souls,
Have you ever seen a human being exist in the body of an ape?
Doesn't have to be black or white,
I said, have you ever seen a human being
it could be.
exist?
You could have the soul of God.
Adam?
Huh?
Have you ever seen a human being exist in the body of an ape?
Yeah, I'm here.
Have you ever seen a human being exist in the body of an ape?
Well, in my view, the human being is a type of human ape. So,
did you go to college?
Question doesn't really make that much sense to me.
Did you go to a university?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, some college, yeah.
Yeah, that explains it. Adam, thank you, man. I appreciate your call.
All right.
Okay. Wow. Amazing. Super chats for Hake. Okay.
Super chat.
Super chats.
Normally, Hake read its own super chats, but I don't get them, so they go over to Nick. Chris, he has to read them. Go ahead.
And these seem to be for Hake. Well, this one's for Hake. No new blog post or timestamps for the Monday Hake Report beta. Come on, Hake, pick up the slack.
Beta.
That was from Peter from Periscope. Jib Jab says you could talk to a black for forever and a day, and they would still be like, "Why are you running?"
What's so amazing about the blacks that disagree with you, at least, they like speaking over you. They grinning while you're talking. It's like
cackling.
Yeah, cackling. They have no intention of dialoguing or getting any understanding about anything.
Yeah, they're very impatient.
It's like they don't know that they're doing it either, or that they know it, just don't care because they don't want the truth to get out there, I guess. Go ahead.
All right. Mo bet a stand up with a diamond. Make sure that donor don't come with strings. Oy vey. And that's all for now.
Thank you all for the Hake Report, sir. Appreciate it. If Hake was here, he would be saying, thank you, guys and ladies. The Hake Report. Let me go quickly to Joe out of Phoenix, Arizona. I see here. Joe, welcome to the Hake Report. You're on the air.
Yeah. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, Joe.
All right. Now, usually I call in to criticize you and fight with you, but, listening to some of those callers, Jesse, it's clear that you do help some people, and that's a good thing. And I wish you would just stick to that. What drives me crazy about you, Jesse, is when you start lying and stereotyping and all that. That's what I have a problem with you. Otherwise, I'd be one of your biggest fans. I really would be.
But you won't be my fan if we disagree?
Disagree is one thing, Jesse, but the lies and the stereotypes, the denigrations is just dangerous. I mean, we live in dangerous times.
Give me an example of a lie that I've told.
Well, 700,000 is not most of 40 million.
So what now?
Yeah, you say that most black people are retarded because of the 70% out of wedlock birth rate. Well, Jesse, there's only about 500,000 black babies born per year. That's 1 million.
Well, that's not the only reason that most are like that. They are like that because they don't think for themselves. They vote for the Democratic Party. They just follow without knowing or recognizing what they're doing. They are not in control of their own lives. And most blacks do support the Democratic Party. Is that a lie?
That part is true, but
Give me another
disagree on-
example of a lie. So
another example is that you lied about the
because
black.
that's not a lie.
That is a lie.
About the blacks in the Democratic Party.
About that, meaning that they're out of control and all that, because you have no proof of that, Jesse.
I have proof that most blacks support the Democratic Party, all in the name of Jesus. And that's true, right?
That part is true, yes.
Okay.
But does that mean that most black people are retarded? So that is a lie.
You have to be retarded to vote for the Democratic Party.
That's your opinion.
Not
a
one
fact.
sane person would vote for the Democratic Party. Not one sane.
That is your opinion, not a fact, Jesse.
No, that's a fact.
No, it's opinion.
The Democratic Party support abortion upon demand. They support Satan instead of God. They hate God. They support so-called same-sex marriage, LGBTQ, SDD. They are anti-military. They're everything that's evil. Why would a sane person support that? And how can that be?
Jesse, you can find those same people on both sides of the aisle.
When we're talking about the blacks and the Democratic Party, most blacks support it. If they were sane, they wouldn't be able to support that.
Jesse, most black people support Democrats because that's historically the party that has been for civil rights.
No, that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it because they're insane.
Sure. No, Jesse, you're wrong.
Anything else?
Sure. You lied about the black air traffic control story. You bring it up periodically.
What was that story?
That they somehow cheated on the test and they lowered the standards for them.
Well, I
The
was just
FAA
giving you the report on that the blacks could not pass the test for air controller tests. And so what they decided to do is to lower the standard so that black can pass. And it was a big deal because, hold on, man. It was a big deal because the other white people who were working hard to pass the test were working for it, and they were complaining that they were pushed aside to let the blacks in. That wasn't a lie. That happened.
It is a lie, Jesse.
Are they lying about it then? I'm just telling you what they said. Are they lying?
Yes. And actually, Fox
How do
News
you
reported-
know they're lying about it?
Because the FAA did a thorough investigation and reported to Congress that there was no cheating, no malpractice going on there at all.
And so the union and all those people were lying?
They were just wrong, Jesse.
Amazing. Anything else?
Sure, I can go on the whole Dayton cop story. They lowered the grade for everyone, not just black folks.
No, it's for black people because black
No, you're wrong,
people, black
Read the
people,
story.
hold
Read it off the
on,
paper.
hold on, Joe,
You're
hold
wrong.
on. Black people are not required to earn their way. They are required to just be black, and the white people have to get back and let them in. In Dayton, Ohio, and we reported on this, the civil service test that they give to become police officers, they said to the blacks, okay, blacks, if you guys can make a D on the test, we'll let you in. They started out with a C, I believe, and the blacks couldn't do it. They said, okay, how about a D? Make a D on the test in order to become a cop. They couldn't do that. And they're like, all right, we'll lower it down to an F. If you can make an F on the civil service test, that we would allow you to become police officers.
All right, Jesse, that's enough lies. Now here are the facts. The facts are that they did lower the exam scores, absolutely, but for everyone, not just for black people. For every single person who took a test, they lowered the score.
No, it was just for the blacks, man.
No,
You're lying about that.
That's documented and in fact. Now, see, you're interrupting me.
Do
because I
you
have the
think
facts.
that
I have it.
you think
You don't
that
want to get out, Jesse.
So what?
You're interrupting me and talking over me because you don't want the truth to be told. It wasn't just for black people; it was for everyone. That's documented. You can read it online. You can see the local newspapers. They lowered the test scores for everyone, not just black folks. Now,
That's not true. It was only for the black ones. Do you think the FAA and others are going to tell you the truth, what they're doing to let the blacks in? You think they're going to be honest about that? Because if they did, they would be called racist and they would get fired.
Congress, yes. They reported to Congress, and they have to because it's a matter of public safety, not just some race nonsense you're making up now, Jesse.
Amazing. Well, I got to run because all we're doing going back and forth. You believe one thing, I believe another. I know that blacks are not. I know that blacks are not capable of earning their way.
You're wrong.
And
every single year there are national merit scholars that are black. You cannot.
No, that's not true.
Jesse, it's a documented fact. Every single year there's national black.
And they wanted more blacks in, so they had to lower it because blacks could not qualify on their own. I remember at UCLA, the blacks were trying to get into UCLA, and they were not able to pass the test. But the whites and Asians and some Hispanics were passing the test. And so after a while, the SAT, whatever they had to do. Hold on, man.
No, you're making it up. You're lying. You're lying right.
Bye. And so they lowered the standard so the blacks can get into UCLA. I don't care what y'all say. Blacks are not earning their way. They fight for affirmative action. If they thought that they could do it themselves, why would they fight for affirmative action? To get it based on their color. If they thought that they could earn it themselves and that they were smart enough, why would they be fighting for reparations? Why would they be burning down cities and destroying businesses and blaming white people? Why would they be calling white people superior to them? They think white people are superior. They think white people have white privilege. They think that white people are stronger. The whites are not saying that about themselves. You have some weak whites trying to go along with it now, but it's the black people who are saying that about the white people because the white people seem superior to the blacks. They don't know they have it in them to do it themselves. It's the blacks who are saying these things and fighting for free stuff. What the? Chris is out of Riverside, California. Chris, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Hake Report.com.
Hey, I just wanted to touch on something that Mays was talking about, how the mayor could ask for more backup.
Yes.
The mayor did ask for backup before the rally walked to the Capitol, and Trump actually had denied, or the Pentagon denied the National Guard because it was peaceful, and they didn't want any problems. And then it seemed that, I've been doing a lot of research on this, but they were saying that the Trump supporters broke through 4 security barricades just to get to that door. But the cops just kind of opened the barricades. There's video of the cops waving them in, and then there's video of people in the front door, and the cops are standing against the wall. And people are like, what's going on? Is something going on? And the cops are like, no one's allowed in. Nobody can come in. But they are just standing there, and people are walking past them, not stopping them or anything.
You said there are videos where the cops are waving them to come in?
There was video of the cops waving them in.
Why were the cops doing that?
I don't know. I've been trying to do research on why, but I think that since the mayor wasn't allowed the National Guard, and this happened in Portland in that they told the cops to stand down while the riots were happening from BLM. They told the police to stand down. I've seen videos from the BLM riots that police just driving by while people setting things on fire. And I think that's what the mayor did, was tell the Capitol Police, hey, stand down. Since we're not getting backup, we're just going to let this happen.
And when did you get the information that
I'm just speculating on
the Pentagon was told not to come?
That was during the day of the rallies. There was a report that said the Pentagon told the National Guard not to come.
And where you see that report? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't remember. It was the day of. It was the January 6th when I read that.
Okay, and the reason I'm asking is because so many rumors and things are being said that are not true. And when they do that, all they do is rile up the people, and then people are not, they don't have a sense of self-control. They'll believe it and overreact. And so that's why I'm asking, where are you getting all this from?
I read that day that because the mayor was already asking for National Guard before they were even at the Capitol. And the Pentagon told them, no, you're not getting National Guard. And then after the Capitol was stormed, Trump said, okay, we'll send the National Guard out. Because he called for peace and everyone to go home. And that's why he got banned from Twitter, that he put out a video calling for peace and saying everyone go home. And then they banned him. It was weird because I watched the video and then they took the video down and said that he was saying evil things. But before he called for peace, he was saying that I don't even want to say, but the EF, there was EF, if you know what I'm saying, the fraud. And I don't want to say it to get your show banned or anything, but it seemed like he said that, and then he said, we want peace, we want law and order, everyone go home. And they took that video off of Twitter. I actually recorded the video because someone else posted it before they got banned, and I have the video on my phone of him saying that. But it's weird that in other cities where the police precincts were taken over, the police were told to stand down. Right. And I think that's what happened with the mayor in D.C. because they wanted people riled up. And when there's a group of angry mob, they kind of go with the group. You know, everyone jumps in on it. They try to make everyone look the same way.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I hope is that the people who are conservatives or whatever, that they would learn from this.
Yes.
And so that they don't fall into that state of anger, and that way they will not be set up because they're going to be treated differently than Black Lives Matter or Antifa or any of those radicals. It's because these people are hated because they support the Great White Hope. And so I hope they learn from it. Chris, thank you, man. I appreciate your call.
I appreciate it. I love all you guys. I'll see you Sunday.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Amazing. Let me go to, who's this on 3net? Okay. Amazing. Everybody and their mama. Let me just say, folks, for those who are just tuning in, Hake is out. You're tuning in for Hake. He is out today. A little under the weather, but he still has good hair. And if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, he'll be back soon. So wish him well. And I definitely appreciate it. Let me ask Chris, because I don't know if he has super chats or anything to read. I'm not getting any kind of notice at all. There is none. No? Okay. All right. What do you think about all that's happening right now in America?
In general?
Yeah. What's going to happen to the country?
I mean, I don't know. I can only speculate that, if it seems that Joe Biden, will be the president, and I don't want to say I'm weary, but I think this is what's going to happen, and it will be unfortunate. But I think we're going to see the same type of laws being passed and fervor that we did during the 2000s against terrorists in the Middle East, brought to us in a more domestic fashion. Yeah, I do think that they will consider largely the Trump supporters, largely white patriotic types, to be considered terrorists to varying degrees.
Amazing.
And I can see laws, regarding that type of situation being passed.
May God have mercy upon my country. Before I go back to the phones, on my show, I played a video of a family. And I've said over and over again for 30 years that it all starts in the homes, that parents must be perfect so that they can produce perfect children. They need to come back to God and love Him with all their heart, soul, and might, so that they can be that example for their children. Because in America today, children are turning on parents. White children are turning on their own parents. And it's horrible. It definitely starts in the home. We must rebuild the family by rebuilding the man. We must unite the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. And black and white people, y'all got to come together and stop allowing the world to divide you. It's not about color. It's not about male or female. It's right versus wrong, good versus evil. And they have divided you in order to conquer. And I'm looking at white kids turning on themselves, getting in this mess with Black Lives Matter to destroy their own country, tearing down flags and monuments and statues and burning and attacking police cars and all kind of crap. I'm like, what are these white people thinking about, these white kids? Black Lives Matter don't love white people. They love no one, especially whites. And you're helping your enemy destroy your country. This country was founded by white people and created the greatest country on this side of heaven, a constitution. And you are helping your enemy destroy your own home. It is mind-blowing to see it. So this is from the, this is from the from Boston.com. There was this fight. At first it started out as a verbal confrontation, and it happened between two females at the Freedom Plaza in Washington, D.C., and this happened on June 5th, I believe 2015. January 15. January 15, 2021. I've been talking for nearly 5 hours here, all right? My voice fading and everything. But this happened on January 5th. So these two females, a black one and a white one, were having a verbal confrontation. And at some point, it looked like the white woman tried to look at pull the mask off or something of the black woman, and the black woman punched her in the face. And you can see the white woman bleeding, and they rushed the black woman out. Watch this. Amazing. Isn't that amazing? But what's even more amazing, is that, so the white woman's name is Teresa Duke. And she was the woman that was punched in the face. But get this, it ain't over yet. Teresa, according to this report, has a daughter by the name of Helena. And she's 18 years old. And so what Teresa's daughter did, she retweeted out the video, and it went viral. Everybody and their mama saw it, right? But it gets worse. In the video, the daughter, Helena, 18 years old, the daughter of this white woman, Teresa, said, "Hi, Mom. Remember the time you told me I shouldn't go to Black Lives Matter protests because they could get violent? Is that you? And she shows the mama face in the video. Isn't that amazing? But no, that's not all. That's not all the daughter does to the mother. The daughter's like, oh, this didn't really hurt my mama. I need more. And the daughter went back on Twitter, according to this report from Boston.com. Teresa's daughter, the white woman, daughter went back on Twitter. She identified her mother, her aunt, and her uncle by name. She's like, you know what? This is Mama Susie. This is Aunt Jenny. This is Daddy Pope. And she said in the video, hi, this is the liberal lesbians of a family who has been kicked out multiple times for her views and for going to a Black Lives Matter protest. She put her own parents' lives at risk, her own mother's life and her family members. Now, you know you got to hate your mama to do something like that, right? And apparently it sounds like they would not accept her views as being a lesbian, her liberal views, so she's ticked about that and put her mother's life at risk. She's supposed to own mother. She exposed, put her own mother life and her uncle and her aunt life at risk. Tell me that we don't need to rebuild family. That's the girl, the daughter. That's 18-year-old, 18-year-old, I'll tell you a minute. I got it right here. What's her name? Helena. Thank you, Chris. Helena. Isn't that amazing? Men, you are needed. You are created in the image of God, that He might create love through you, that love will protect the women and children. You are hated because you're sons of God. Even if you're in a fallen state, you're just a weak son, but you need to return to the Father. This is awful what this girl has done to her parent, her mother and aunt and uncle, because they don't agree with her lifestyle. They put her out, and I don't know why, but we got to return to love. Love God with all your heart, soul, and might. It's time out for the okie doke. It really is. It's time out for the okie doke. Men, it's in you. Women don't have love. The love comes through the man from God to the woman. Women only have hate. And it feels like love. It's a false imitation of love. It's not real. Emotional so-called love is not love. That's hate. It's the other way around. And love has no feeling. It's dispassionate. It doesn't enslave you. It frees you up. And all things are possible to overcome when you have love. Super Chats and D-Live for Hake.
Super Chat.
Super Chats.
All right, Super Chats for Hake. Mobetta Stand Up says, caller thinks he was an ape because he ate a banana.
I can't believe that guy is like totally convinced he's an ape. His mama ape.
Mm-hmm.
What the?
Yeah, he's been listening to Joe Rogan or something.
Something going on.
Mobetta Stand Up with another diamond. How were apes born? God said, boom, then life. Simple as that.
Amazing.
PJ wants to play with a diamond. Ape guy must been good at climbing trees too. Mo bet a stand-up with a diamond. Caller says, scientifically tell us how apes were born. All right.
That's a good point.
Mo bet a stand-up with a diamond. I can swim like a fish. Was my daddy a fish? Solid point. That's all for now.
Amazing. Thank you all for the Hake guy. Hake could be back soon. And he still, even under the weather, he still has good hair. The hair ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. Let me go to Sion out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Sion, welcome to the Hake Report. You're on the air.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Sion. Amazing.
Hi, Jesse. I missed you.
Same here. I miss you as well. How was
Did
your...
you really miss me? You say that to every caller.
I miss you, Sion.
No, you don't. You don't say you miss them. You say you love them.
I love you too.
I love you. Yeah. I'm okay. How are you?
Are you on a speakerphone or something? It's not coming in good.
I was on Bluetooth. I'm driving.
Oh, okay.
Now, can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, you're fine now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just, okay, real quickly. Oh, my God, what's happening? I know you say don't panic, but what's happening to Mommy America?
I know, huh? It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not funny, I know. And it does start in the home. The white people need to do a better job on not spoiling their kids.
Yeah.
They give them everything.
Yeah.
But the school system, it brainwashes them, so. Yeah.
It's a horrible mistake and a lack of love to raise children without teaching them to work and be responsible while they're growing up, without being a good example for them, because when they get older, they don't have that nature that God has put inside, so that when you become an adult, you're able to go out, provide for yourself, treat others the way you would like to be treated, to overcome instead of giving into. And the white parents, and a lot of other parents are doing it too, they are not training their kids up in the right way to go.
Yeah, they give them everything, Jesse. They pay that little girl, probably her parents still taking care of her instead of throwing her out with the BLM protesters. See how she likes it, surviving in there. She won't.
She's 18 years old. It sounds like she
18, yeah.
Yeah, 18. She
It's still
sounds like that's why she. Yeah.
Yeah.
She sounds like she's mad at her parents because they want a separate lifestyle, and she support Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. You know what's happening? It's crazy. I think it's all a setup to get the not politician Donald Trump out, because they wanted him out for a long time and they succeeded. I feel like because him and the traitor rhinos, they condemned it. I didn't like that. I didn't like that he condemned it. Instead of saying, let's find out if these people are really on my side, or they're one of the, what are they? The BLM and then the Antifa people.
Yeah.
And even if let's say an angry Trump supporters did that, I mean, that is nothing compared to going out there, destroying businesses, and killing a lot of people and stealing. You remember they were stealing in Target, in Walmart, everything else.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I think, Jesse, you tell them to wake up every day, the white folks. We need them to really, really wake up. No games, no video games, no pot, no Xanax, and what do you call it? That they take drugs right now, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And they're on video games and anime, so that they just need to be clear head so they can take their country back, because we come here for a better opportunity. And the Democrats, they're taking that away. So, yeah.
You're right about that, Sia. Absolutely well said. And I've been saying to them to wake up for 30 years. I didn't just start yesterday.
I know.
And they did not listen.
No, they don't. They don't. They're too doped up. They're into games and porn, and a lot of gamers and a lot of pot smokers. And what was it that drug? Methamphetamine.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Yes, come on. We need to rise up and wake up, or this country, you see all the crazy women in charge.
Yep, that's right. Amazing.
When you go to Mexico, you better not get a Mexican. You're taken.
Thank you. I will not. That's for sure.
You don't look 71. You know that.
Amazing. Thank you.
Love you. Okay.
Thank you, Sion. Let me hear from you again, all right?
I will. Have a good one.
You too. Amazing. Hake could be back. So I want to show you why. First, I want to tell you this. I want to show you why they hate the president so much. And I want to warn you. Remember, I'm warning. Unless you learn to endure all things in your life and not overreact to them, don't be angry. Don't try to get revenge. When you learn to endure and not try to get revenge, but endure because and then you will see God is with you, you're going to be hated like this too, even worse. But I want to show you why they hate the Great White Hope. Watch this. This is the If poem.
If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but are none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Amazing. Nick, my producer, is making the point that this is, with everything that's happened, this is even deeper. And he's absolutely right. But folks, because the battle is a spiritual battle, you're going to have to go through this. There's just no way around it. And so if you learn to endure all things now in your life, raising your family, dealing with people at work, whatever, right? Whatever the situation may be, if you could just endure it now, and when you get to that point where you're having a major impact on the world, Satan will send his children after you. But because you're enduring the little things, you'll be stronger for the big things, you'll become a man. The president is a perfect example for that. He's enduring. He loves what's right. He's enduring. There's no real reason other than a battle between good and evil that they hate the president. He has not done anything wrong. He tried to make America great again, better. He looked out for the people. And because of that, look what he has to endure. I want you to be aware of it. You got to go through the same thing. We're bringing back Christianity. We're bringing back love, loving God and loving your neighbor as yourself. You're going to have to go through it. But it's spiritual and look like it's physical, right? You can't hate the people because they can't help it. Then you must endure, and you'll become an example of what love is. I want to know what love is. You will become an example of what love is. You got to endure. And if you do all that, you become a man. I'm warning you. I'm just telling you. I have to do it. It's not like I'm exempt from it. Overcome that fallen state, and you got to endure overcoming the ego. It's all ego. It feels like you're dying, but it's not you that's dying when you're attacked. It's the ego. And so be glad. Have the same attitude that you will have when all seem to be fine. Have that attitude when you're going through it. Count it all joy when tribulation comes. Tribulations work as patience in your life. Count it all joy. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits and principalities and wickedness in high places. Let me go quickly to Ken out of New Jersey. Ken, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, Jesse, it's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. The phone caller before about talking about the police and them letting them in.
Yes.
I saw that same video, too, and he cleared it up. And then there was also other videos the guy made of taking, he filmed the Antifa buses, okay, that the buses that they use, they're like big white vans. They probably hold about 30 people.
Right.
And there was about 4 vans that were parked out there. Well, buses, really. They're in like a little bigger than a school bus. And there was a state car with state plates on it.
Yes.
Government plates. And they brought them vans right up to the front where they could be dropped off and go right to the front of the line of where the Trump supporters were. Okay, so they were Antifa vans that they use.
Amazing.
And nobody, I haven't been able to find that video anymore. I don't know whether it's been taken off. Okay, and there's other videos that I watched, the people that were there, you know, and they saw the guy talking on a walkie-talkie, and he was listening, and he overheard him say that, how many guys you got together? And the guy said 6. And he says, okay, remember, we got to cause as much chaos as we can.
You saw a video of that?
Yes, on YouTube. Yep. It was somebody that was right there, and you could see that the other Trump supporters were around. Okay, they weren't. This is like they weren't packed together tight, and the guy overheard him because he says, "What's this guy doing with a walkie-talkie?" You know, and communicating with other people that were around. And that's what he was saying. He says, we got to cause as much chaos as we can. And then the guy thought right away, because the way he was dressed, he looked like he had a flak jacket on, you know, like Antifa uses now and then.
Yeah.
They got the bulletproof vest, and he was dressed like that, but they just had like on a Trump hat, you know, which is anybody, I could wear a Black Lives T-shirt. That doesn't mean I'm with Black Lives, you know?
Well, you know, that's where I'm trying to get the real story. I'm looking at Jester's in the chat, Jester's S in the chat is saying that was debunked by Antifa, about Antifa vans. But who knows what the truth is, right? But they're saying that those vans were not Antifa vans.
You know, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I've seen posts taken down. I've sent stuff out on Facebook, and they blurred my post.
Amazing.
Saying that it wasn't true. but yet I got this off of somebody like who went through in World War II, Adolf Hitler, and how Hitler defunded the police because he didn't want the police interfering with the SS.
Well, I've heard that too, but let me say I got to run because of time. Ken, thank you so much for that information, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks. Good talking to you, Jesse.
You too, buddy. Thank you. It's hard to know what's right. I want to squeeze in Julio from Rhode Island. Amazing. Julio, welcome to the show, to the Hake Report. You're on there.
How you doing, Jesse and the crew? How's everything going?
All is well, sir. It was amazing meeting you and your family on Sunday.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yes, I totally agree. It was amazing meeting you guys all in person. And thank you for the shout-out on Monday. I had to record it and put it on my Snap and all that stuff. Everybody was like, yo, that's amazing. You made it all the way out there to see these guys. And it's good that you made an impact.
It was a major impact. Thank you, man.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you, Jesse. My first little comment would be towards the man who was talking earlier about evolution and how we came from monkeys.
Yes.
If that was the case, then I can totally understand why BLM did what they did. Okay? Because it only makes sense for a bunch of people that used to be animals.
What happened? He dropped. Oh, Julio dropped. And he muted. But the point he wanted to make, if you are animals, then that's why you're acting that way. We're not animals, folks. In a fallen state, we act like animals, animal nature, right? But that's not who you are. You're not an animal. So maybe people believe that they came from apes because they act like animals in that fallen state. Look how people hate one another and beat up one another, rob and steal and kill one another and lie. And that's not love. That's animal-like nature. That's not the real deal. All right? Oh, Julio out of Rhode Island's back. What happened, man?
The phone just dropped. I was just like, no.
Real fast. We all have a few minutes.
Yeah, back to what I was saying about the whole thing. Honestly, I think the reason why a lot of people believe that evolution is possible and that people are they believe people are racism is because evolution justifies that. It says that we came from monkeys and slowly turned to black people and then slowly got lighter as the generations went down. And that's probably why people assume that racism is the reason and for everything, because evolution will justify that. It's taught in all the school systems, and nowadays everybody believes that. So that's just from where I get it. I learned it from this man named Kent Hovind. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but he goes really into detail with that. It's a really good listen. If you,
I know it's hard for me to believe that people would believe that we came from apes, and they've never seen a human being come from an ape. Nowhere in the world where anyone has seen an ape being born, and from that ape came out a human being. And it's, but I understand, though, when you're in that fallen state, you have anger. It's hard to believe the truth. You can only believe lies.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny, too, because nobody ever says, hey, look at this. There's a human walking out of the jungle.
Right. They don't ever say it, but just because some so-called expert said it, so-called folk with a so-called fake degree, just because the people said it, folks fall for it. Julio, thank you for your call, man. I'm out of time, but I really appreciate it.
No worry. I got plenty more, but believe me, I will call tomorrow. Don't worry. I will definitely call in.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. Have a good one. God bless you guys. Love you guys.
Love you, too. Amazing. Listen, thank you all for the Hake Super Chats and D-Lives and your support for him. The treasure chest is open. So what's supposed to happen right now? What normally would Hake do after the treasure chest is open?
He just continued.
Okay. It's open. And he will be back hopefully soon. Feel better. He's feeling better already. And thank you for your support for Hake.com. Hake is here Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. heard around the world by everybody and their mama. And I have to tell you, his growth is amazing. When Hake first came to Bond, however long ago, I knew it was possible because all things are possible when you overcome that anger. But Hake has, I mean, the growth is mind-blowing. And it just happened. You don't like see it happening. You just realize one day, wow, that man is not the same anymore. He's not weak. He's strong. He doesn't have fear. He has courage now. And it just happens only because he was willing to forgive and return back to the Father. And I'm saying all that to say to you, you're looking at a man who's overcome weakness and come back to courage, to love. And I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. So I really appreciate your support for Hake. We're building a network of talk show hosts who can, especially men, who can help get the truth out there. And he's doing an amazing job. I remember when I first said, hey, you need to get your own show. I want to give you your own show. It started out with 3 of them, but 2 didn't last. But he continued. He is committed to it. And so I want to encourage you to do the same thing, folks. You got to wake up, get involved in government, get involved in making America great again. Not overreacting, not being angry, but one step at a time. Thank you all for tuning in for the Hake Report. And if he doesn't come back, I'll be back tomorrow with the help of my experts tomorrow because my throat is getting sore. I can feel it. I've been talking 5 hours today, straight. Same thing yesterday, so it's a lot on the throat when that happens. So I'm going to have to, if I do it tomorrow, I'm going to have to enlist the help of my experts. And the experts are amazing. And thanks to Nick, my producer, for presenting the Hake News. Amazing job on it. All right, so tell everybody about the HakeReport.com and wish Hake well. And thank you for your support for my show, the Lee Peterson Show, as well as the Hake Report, as well as Bond and the FallenState.tv. We appreciate it. Have a good day, folks. It was fun. Thank you all for calling in.